as you were at the top of the table over in the Bundesliga, as both Bayern and Dortmund put on impressive displays to maintain their title pushes. But what about Leipzig? Another big win for them. Can they get themselves back into the race? We'll take a little look next. Prediction video today. We look forward to match day number 24 over in the Bundesliga, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe and keep you bang up to date with all things Rovers related, Bundesliga related, whoa, football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one Ruski, that's right. Of course, Bayern maintain their 6-point cushion over Dortmund. Of course, we'll have to wait till that Die Klassiker again to see if we can actually get a title race on our hands. But of course, 6-point cushion over Borussia Dortmund right now to, of course, lead the charge. Big wins for Dortmund, though. Of course, destroying my boys, Borussia Mönchengladbach 6-0 last round. Bit of a tough one to swallow, that one, but of course they'll keep their race on as of when they do it. Let's jump in the deep end, of course, in just a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. Of course, they are the patrons. Thank you very much for, of course, your love. But of course, until then, we're going to go right in the deep end, of course, revisit our games last round. Then, shall we? Here we go. Then kicking off forward with the results. Of course, Hertha Berlin played last Sunday night. I was waiting on this one, and it was a 6-1 demolition for Leipzig. Good discretion me. I went with the 2-1 win myself. Meanwhile, Köln 1-0 winners over Frankie. Big result for them as well. Mainz 3-2 winners over Leverkusen. What am I bloody doing? What's that going on there? Meanwhile, Bielefeld picked up a 1-0 win over Union Berlin to maintain their, of course, survival hopes. Dortmund, of course, destroyed Gladbach 6-0. I went with a 5-goal thriller, but unfortunately, all a bit more evenly spread. Meanwhile, of course, Augsburg picked up a loss against Freiburg. Wolfsburg picked up a loss against Hoffenheim, and Stuttgart and Bochum drew 1-1 in the end. And of course, bottom of the pops there, of course, Bayern, of course, 4-1 winners over Greuther Fürth. This is what the table looks like right now. It is pretty grim reading for a Mönchengladbach fan like myself, down in 13th. Greuther Fürth have been on a bit of a push recently. They were never going to get a result this weekend, were they? Stuttgart in trouble as well. Augsburg are also in the mix to get relegated as well. Kicking off forward, though, Bayern maintain the top of the league status. Dortmund, of course, 6 points adrift. Leverkusen are in third, and Leipzig are right back in the hunt for, of course, Champions League once again. That's the state of play there. Of course, it could all change up this week. We'll take a look at it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to these guys here. Of course, the predictors, and well done to Hans Wurst, Russell Frost, Shane O'Donnell with 6 out of 9 there. Top bins for you guys, kicking ass and taking names. And, of course, big shout out to the patrons for doing their love. Right here, right now, this is the mini leaderboard. Of course, this is the second half of the season, and Bianca Muller kicking ass alongside Hans Wurst as well. Well done, well done, well done. And of course, the patrons are kicking ass all over the place. Well done to you guys. And of course, we'll see the master leaderboard next week. Get in amongst it, free to enter. Cut the 4-star Bundesliga. And of course, we'll have the results of the bloody predictor of the month for the month of Feb. It's coming rapid. So here we go then, the next round of games. 24, match number 24, kicking all off this Friday. Of course, Champions League this week, Europa League, all that kind of jazz. But of course, it will all end up right here, kicking it off at Frankie up against Bayern. That's right. Of course, I'm going with a zinger on this one. Plays for the 52 times since 92. 10% for Frankfurt, 33 wins for Bayern. We've got 9 draws, of course. Frankfurt coming to this 42% form, 1-2 lost 2 of the last 4. Meanwhile, Bayern coming to this just 1 defeat the past 6 for them, 75% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around in Frankie was a 2-1 win for Frankie. That's back in February 2021. The reverse fixture in Bayern was a 2-1 win for Frankfurt as well. So they're going for a 3-peat here. It's Frankfurt, so bear that in mind when, of course, I announce my prediction. Meanwhile, of course, Frankfurt coming to this on the back of a loss against Köln. Bayern pick up a 4-1 win over Greuther Fürth last time around. The odds, though, for this one, we do have, where are we? Where the bloody hell are we? 6-1 is your Frankie on this one, 11-4 on is your, of course, your Bayern, 4-1 is your draw. Like I said, Frankfurt have got back-to-back wins against Bayern. Of course, I think they'll get something out of this one. I'm going with a draw myself at home. And of course, dent, of course, the title hopes for Bayern on this one. But of course, Dortmund and Leipzig will have to keep on winning if they're going to maintain that. So, and of course, speaking of Leipzig, they're next up against VfL Bochum. They're going to be locking horns, of course, on Sunday as well. Sonntag, 27 February. Played each other 6 times, 2014. Nothing for Bochum, 6 wins for Leipzig, and no draws. Just 1 defeat, though, in the past 6 games for Bochum right now, 58% form. Meanwhile, Leipzig coming to this, just 1 defeat past 6 as well, 75% form for them as well. Last time around, of course, in Bochum, it was a 1-0 win for Leipzig. That was back in October 2015 in the Zweite Bundesliga. Meanwhile, the reverse fixture in Leipzig back in October was a 3-0 win as well for Leipzig. In fact, Leipzig just conceded 1 goal in the last 4 games against Bochum, stretch it all the way back to 2005. Bochum picking up a draw against Stuttgart last time around. Of course, Leipzig picking up a 6-1 win over Hertha Berlin last time around. The odds, though, for this one, 4-1 is your Bochum, 13-8 on is your Leipzig, and 14-5 is your draw. It's going to be a away win, isn't it? 2-0 win for them to maintain their push. Kicking off forward, it'll be Augsburg. They're going to be taking on Dortmund, of course, on Sunday as well. The 27th of February. Played each other 22 times. 2011, 3 wins at Augsburg, 14 wins at Dortmund, and 5 draws. Just 1 win in 6 for Augsburg right now. 33% form up against the Dortmund side. 1-3, lost 3. 50% form for them as well right now. Coming at you the last round, and Augsburg was a 2-0 win for Augsburg back in September 2020. The reverse fixture in Dortmund back in October. It was a 2-1 win for Dortmund as well. Dortmund picked up a 6-0 win over Gladbach last time around. Of course, they did lose to Rangers in the Europa League. They'll do the second leg of that in Scotland. Meanwhile, of course, Freiburg did beat Augsburg 2-1 last time around. The odds though for this one, we have 4-1 is your Augsburg, 20-11 on is your Dortmund, and 10-3 is your draw. Going to go the way here. Tight 2-1 win though, of course, after a long week for them. Kicking forward is Mönchengladbach up against, of course, Wolfsburg. Must-win game it must be for Gladbach right now. Played each other 44 times in 97, 30 wins for Gladbach, 22 wins for Wolfsburg, and 9 draws. Just 1 win and 6 there for Gladbach right now. Maybe Adi Huda is on the cusps of the boot, because I thought they would be Europa League contenders at the very least. But anyway, they're just 1 win and 6 of them, 25% form up against the Wolfsburg side, who've won twice in the past 6. 42% form for them as well. Last round in Gladbach as a draw back in October 2020. The reverse fixture in Wolfsburg this season back in October was a 3-1 win for Gladbach as well. Gladbach do come into this on the back of a 6-0 loss against Dortmund. Of course, Wolfsburg pick up a 2-1 loss against Hoffenheim last time around. 2019 on is your Gladbach, 13-5 is your draw, and 11-4 is your away win. That is, of course, Wolfsburg. Tight this one. Going to go with a 2-1 win for Gladbach, and that's purely just heart speaking on that one. Kicking it forward is Hoffenheim up against Stuttgart. Let's get in the deep end on this one. That'll take place on Freitag, 25th February. Of course, now these two sides have played each other 25 times. So 2005, 6 wins for Hoffenheim, 12 wins for Stuttgart, and 7 draws. Back-to-back wins though for Hoffenheim right now. 33% form up against the Stuttgart side, who comes to just 1 win and 6 for them. 25% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time out in Hoffenheim was a 3-3 draw back in November 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, in Stuttgart back in October was a 3-1 win for Stuttgart. The away side hasn't won this game in a long time. The last time the away side won was when Hoffenheim beat Stuttgart back in 2014 in the Bundesliga. It was. Meanwhile, of course, Hoffenheim picked up a 2-1 win over Wolfsburg. Stuttgart picked up a draw against Bochum last time around. Of course, they are struggling. 2-1 on is your Hoffenheim, 17-4 is your away win at Stuttgart, and 60-5 is your bloody draw. 1-0 win for Hoffenheim on this one. Of course, going to go with the hosts to take 3 points. Kicking off forward to be Union Berlin. They're going to be looking on up against Mainz on this one, of course, on Samstag. Now, these two sides have played each other 11 times. Done 1, 4 wins to Union Berlin, 5 wins to Mainz, and 2 draws, of course. Union Berlin coming to this without a win in 4 now, 42% form up against the Mainz side, who are, of course, unbeaten in the last 3, 42% form as well. So, two sides in different kind of form. Of course, last round in Union Berlin, it was a 4-0 win for Berlin back in October 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, in Mainz this season was a 2-1 win for Union Berlin as well. Union Berlin, though, coming to the back of a loss against Bielefeld, and haven't scored in 4 games, goodness gracious me. Meanwhile, Mainz coming to this on the back of a 3-2 win over Leverkusen, goodness gracious me, so not too shabby on that one. Looking at the odds on this one, 64 is your Union Berlin, 7-4 is your away win, that's Mainz, and 11-5 is draw. Quite tight in the bookies on this one, could be a draw. Going to go with a 2-1 win for Union Berlin to get back to winning ways for them on this one. Freiburg, they're going to be taking on Hertha Berlin, that's right, over in Freiburg, of course. Played each other 32 times in 1998, 9 was for Freiburg, 11 was for Hertha Berlin, and 12 draws. Just 1 defeat past 5 for Freiburg right now, 58% form up against the Hertha Berlin side, who haven't won the last 7 games, goodness gracious me. They're coming to this 17% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around in Freiburg, it's a 4-1 win for Freiburg. That was back in December 2020. The reverse fixture back in October this season was also a 2-1 win for Freiburg. Meanwhile, Freiburg did pick up a 2-1 win over Augsburg last time around. Of course, Hertha Berlin with a 6-1 demolition loss. They lost to Leipzig 6-1 in the end, and of course haven't won since I don't even know. The last win was all the way back in 18th of December against Dortmund in the Bundesliga. Am I right? Am I looking at that right? I am looking at that right. Kicking on forward though, we're looking at Freiburg 2013 on for the victory, 40-5 is short, and 50-4 is your way win. That's Hertha Berlin. They're going to win sometime. They're not going to win this one. 3-1 win in the end. Kicking off forward, of course, is Leverkusen. Of course, up against Bielefeld, who've responded quite well in recent times. Played each other 23 times since 1996. 11 wins to Leverkusen, 7 wins to Bielefeld, and 5 draws. Just 1 defeat the past 6 though for Leverkusen right now. 75% form up against the Bielefeld side. Just 1 defeat the past 6. 58% form for them. They have drawing a lot of games though. They've drawn 3 of the last 6. Is that right? Yeah, 3 out of the last 6. Coming at you the last time out, Leverkusen was a 2-1 win for Bielefeld. That was back in March 2021. In fact, the home side hasn't won this game in a long time. The last time the home side won was when Bielefeld beat Leverkusen back in 2008. Wow. Meanwhile, of course, Leverkusen did lose to Mainz last time, and of course, Bielefeld picked up a 1 win over Union Berlin. The odds though for this one, of course, Leverkusen will be your favourites. 3-1 on for the victory, 4-1 is your draw, and 7-1 is your long shots. That's Bielefeld on this. Going to go with a big win here, 4-0 win for Leverkusen, and of course, dent the hopes of Arminia Bielefeld to stay in the division. And then finally, of course, Greuther Fürth up against Köln, locking odds on Saturday as well. 19 times they played each other since 1998. 3 wins for Greuther Fürth, 10 wins for Cologne, and 6 draws. Of course, course, 50% form for Greuther Fürth right now. 1-2 lost, 2 drawn, 2. Meanwhile, Köln also 1-2 lost, 2 drawn, 2 as well. 50% form as well. Last round in Greuther Fürth, it was a 4-0 win for Köln. Meanwhile, the reverse fixture in Köln, it was a 3-1 win back in, of course, October. Greuther Fürth did lose to Bayern last round. Of course, Köln pick up a 1 win over Frankfurt on this one. The odds, though, go in favour 30-5 for Greuther Fürth, 11-10 on as your Köln, 30-5 as your draw. Going to go with the surprise here. Going to go with the hosts here, backing my Greuther Fürth to get some more points in the bag to make that relegation matter a bit more of a scrap. 1-0 win in the end for Greuther Fürth to take it to the house, and of course, that is my picks. Be sure to get your own picks in as well using the link cut/Bundesliga, and that just about it. Be sure to give the video some love, and of course, it does wonders for the algorithm. And of course, if you are a Bundesliga fan, of course, or a nerd statistician, get involved with me down below in the comment section, of course, and let me know that you want to be part of the process here at Blackburn Rovers Season, trying to expand the content a little bit. Of course, get more experts around the scene. So we'd like to appreciate, help you guys help me in another way. Of course, better still, follow me on Twitter, direct message me that way. Of course, that you want to be part of the show. But until then, guys, I'll see you soon for the next one, which of course will be next week. But until then, we're done for now.